Greetings, EastEnders fans, and welcome to another episode of Albert Square After Dark, your weekly EastEnders podcast. This week, discussing the episodes broadcast between the 2nd to the 5th of December 2024. Won't be saying 2024 for much longer. It's nearly done. Whole year. It's gone by like that. Where does time go? That's when you know you're getting older, when you start saying things like, where does the time go? Where's it gone, Ree? Where does the time go?
I don't know. I wish I knew because I could do with some back, to be honest.
Mm.
Because it's like that, isn't it?
I know. Flies by.
I can't believe it's Christmas 2024. It feels like yesterday that we were like
Getting well
discussing all
excited
the
about the
sick
six.
stuff
I
and
know.
being like, oh, what's it going to be?
I know.
Now it's like Christmas 2024.
And in 4 months' time, we'll have been doing this for 2 years. Me and you. Isn't that mad?
How?
2 years. I know.
Wow.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I think that might be the longest thing that we've both ever stuck at together.
Apart from uni. And arguably, we didn't stick at that exactly.
We didn't really do great at that together, did we?
Hey.
Well, we did in the end.
We got our degrees.
So
what more do you want? No employer asked you what your actual grade was, right?
We don't know how, because we used to message each other from opposite ends of the library when we were doing all our assignments.
Shall we go to the pub?
Shall we just
go to the pub?
Yeah.
This Saturday will be all right. We've got a whole night to write it. Let's just go to the pub now, shall we?
We'll leave all our bags with our friend who ended up getting really annoyed.
Poor Becky. Poor Becky.
Had to wait there until we got back.
Honestly, one time we left her for about 4 hours one time.
Yeah,
she
literally.
was not impressed.
She was so mad, weren't she? I mean, if I'd have been here, I'd have just left us back.
I'd have just left her. Yeah, I just left her. So I've got things to do. But the problem that she had was the fact that she was in exactly the same position as us, and she'd been getting drunk all the time when she should have been doing her essay.
Exactly. So you know what?
We just had more nerve. That's the problem. Yeah, right, ladies and gents. Away from our successful academic careers. Final month of the calendar. Now, created this calendar, which must seem like so long ago when you created the Peggy calendar, right?
So long ago.
At
least a year ago.
To the point where she has absolutely no idea what the December picture is. And actually, if we're being honest, she's not had a single idea what any of the pictures have been for all the way throughout the year, have you?
No, it's been a nice surprise for his birth.
It has. But let's be real here. It's December. This is the big month of soap, right? This is the massive month of EastEnders. I know that Ree will have chosen the best ever picture for December. Yeah?
Shut up.
Is it not?
Right. Rob's doing this because I said don't pick it up because I've got a feeling that it's going to be a really underwhelming picture for December. So whatever you do, don't pick it up. Right. Come on then, Rob. Let's see what it is.
Say goodbye to Pat and Peggy on November. Bless them. And say hello to December.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's nice. We've got Peggy and Phil and baby Ben. First Ben. Not first Ben, but like the first
third, maybe?
Yeah. Oh, just my mic back on. The first Ben that Stella Ben, I think people know him as really.
Stella Ben, yes.
Tap dancing Girls Aloud Stella Ben. That's the one. So there we go. That is December's picture with turkey and wine and mistletoe and Christmas and party hats. And they look like they're having a good time, no matter what hell was probably coming their way in the next couple of hours, probably, knowing the Mitchells at that stage. Right, talking of Christmas, we have got quite the build-up, I think, coming up over December for the big Christmas Day episodes. Also, what we should be talking about later is the scheduling that has officially been announced for the Christmas Day episodes. We'll talk about that later on in the podcast. Have you heard about what the scheduling actually is? It's crazy.
I have.
Yeah, Ree's going to be asleep for the second one, let me tell you.
Aren't I just?
Right, but we'll come to that later because we have got a mammoth load of stuff to get through tonight. We've got about 5 storylines to get through, including the return of Nish. We knew it was coming, didn't we? We did know it was coming, I think. What else has been going on? Jean's scamming has gotten worse. Cindy she's in trouble. She's going to be in trouble. The Christmas Day episode reveal is going to be mammoth when we get to that. And lots of other stuff. So I think we better get on with this week's Albert Square After Dark. Right, let's kick off this week. We're talking about Cindy and Junior and Ian, who had an angina attack. Now, do you know the difference between an angina and a heart attack, Ree?
I do, but I think I'd like you to explain it,
Would you?
please.
Would you? Well, basically, an angina attack is caused by reduced blood flow in the body. It
Hmm.
feels exactly like a heart attack, but it lasts for a bit less time. An
Yeah.
angina attack temporarily will last for like about 20 minutes or so at the very most, whereas heart attacks go until you're being seen to by a the emergency doctor, basically.
Yeah.
And angina attacks tend to be more of a pre-warning towards heart attacks.
Hmm.
Now, does this mean that Ian is due another heart attack? Because presumably this has happened for a reason, right?
He's going to have one on Christmas Day when he
I
finds out
think he
about
might.
Cindy.
I think he might.
Oh.
Think he might.
Yeah,
Christmas Day
that's
heart
it,
attack
innit?
for Ian.
Mm.
I'm getting a
And
bit worried about
obviously,
Ian.
yeah, I'm thinking he's gonna have a heart attack on Christmas Day, and now after the angina thing, I'm like, he's gonna die on 40th, isn't he?
I'd
What
absolutely
bigger
cry.
legacy character
I
could
know,
you
but
have to die on
I'd
40th?
absolutely cry my heart out if Ian Beale died. I really would. Every single time that I see Ian on screen these days, I'm like, oh, thank God you're back. Even though it's been like what, over a year since he returned, I'm still
Hmm.
like looking at him like eternally grateful that he returned because it's like it's not EastEnders without Ian. So
What if he just returned so that he could get killed off
I know,
properly?
I know.
I wouldn't be surprised, would you?
No, but anything's possible. This is the thing. We're coming up to a big anniversary. Is that it's the most dangerous time to be a long-serving character. That's when you kill off like people
Mm.
like Ian in like a massive anniversary. Legacy characters are at their biggest risk at anniversaries.
Plus, Adam Woodyart's probably thinking, well, you can just bring me back from dead in 10 years' time
Yeah,
anyway. Be right. Yeah,
yeah.
kill me off and bring me back
Bring
again.
me back. Yeah, I'll go and have a heart attack off screen, and then I'll be back in it. I'll
Yeah.
be
Oh,
back
if it's
next
done
year.
off screen, yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
anything's
Exactly.
possible. But he doesn't want Cindy to know about this because, and I think this drills down into Ian's insecurity about his relationship with Cindy. Like, if he sits and thinks about it, why would you not want to tell your missus, not wife because they're not married, but like, why would
Partner.
you not, partner? Why would you not want to tell your partner that you've had an angina attack and that you need to look after yourself? And his reasoning is because it would make him seem weak. And that means that he's worried that Cindy will go off and have an affair. That ship
Mhm.
sailed, love. That ship has sunk.
If
That
only
ship is
you
the
knew the
ti-
truth, Ian.
That ship is the Titanic, love. It's down at the bottom of the sea.
Maybe he does know. Surely he knows
I think.
already. It'd be
What
funny
do you
if he did
think?
already know.
What do you think Ian's reaction is going to be when he finds out about this? Like, I can see him actually not going crazy and not
Maybe he
being
won't
like
have a heart
massively
attack,
angry.
actually.
You don't
It's
think?
like, it won't be that big of a shock
Won't
for
be
him
that
to kill. Be
surprised,
like,
surely.
oh, Cindy's had an
You
affair.
had an
Oh,
affair?
no.
You
This
had
is
an
brand new
affair?
information. I'm so shocked.
That's
Yeah, he's
so out
probably
of
just going to be
character
like,
for you.
again.
Yeah. I
No,
think he
I don't
won't.
know though, because even Ian might. I can imagine Ian going, "This is a new low, even for you, Cindy.
Oh, something like that.
You,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
your ex-husband's son."
I
Or
mean, I think it depends how he finds out, but considering what Cindy said on that recording, I think that's going to be one of those sort of death by a thousand cuts sort of thing, where
true.
his self-esteem by the end of it is so on the floor, he's too devastated to even be angry with her, and he just sort of accepts it. And I can actually see him going, well, you know, never mind, we'll try again though, eh? Maybe you won't have an affair this time. I can genuinely see him doing something like that.
He were kind of yeah, because not that long ago we were talking about it, and he was just saying, "Well, she kind of reminds me a bit of Lucy and stuff like. She's a nice
Mm,
reminder of her." He didn't seem like you were all that fussed about them being together necessarily. Like
no, I mean it's not
more that he
based
just
on
likes
anything,
the
is it?
idea of
Uh,
them being together. But he's also doing all this stuff like trying to be Mr. Christmas, isn't he, around the
yeah,
square? So is it going to be
yeah.
quite big news when everyone hears the recording and be
Mm.
like, oh,
It
and
depends
invite
how
all
this
these other
recording comes out.
strangers? True.
Depends on how this recording comes out. I mean, Cindy currently now has a copy in her hot little hands of what she's actually said without knowing about it because Freddie's handing out these CDs. I don't know how many CDs that he's got. A dangerous
Who
number.
who realistically is actually going to sit down and listen to that
Listen
bird
to
song
three
recording
hours of
though?
bird song.
If that's what somebody thinks it is, who's actually going
Oh
to
my
sit down
god.
and listen to
Oh
it?
my god, I've just worked it out. Ian's going to get all stressed and everything, and Cindy's going to go, listen to this, that'll calm you down. And he's going to be on his own. And Christmas Eve, he's going to be on his own, and then he's going to find it out.
You
That's
cracked it. Oh, yeah.
that's what's going to happen, isn't it? He's going to
It's either
give,
that.
she's going to
Yeah,
give,
yeah, yeah,
no, no, no,
yeah, yeah,
she's going to
yeah,
give
yeah,
him
yeah.
that as a really rubbish Christmas present.
Yes. But the other thing I just thought when you said it as well, it's either that or Ian's going to be sat listening to it, fall asleep, and then Kathy's going to walk in and she'll hear the actual bit where
Maybe,
they're talking
maybe.
or something. Yeah, I think you cracked it. Yeah. Well done, Rob. Definitely.
I'm
That's
very
definitely how it's
excited.
going down.
I'm really, really excited about this reveal. And I also wonder if by the time that this reveal comes, whether Junior is going to actually be as head over heels for Cindy as he was at the start of this. Because I got the impression this week that his rose tinted glasses, lol, have
Good
started
one.
to, thank you, have started to lower a little bit, didn't you?
Yes, because I think he's seeing a different side to her with how she's handled
Yeah.
all the Kurjo stuff. Because he was very kind and caring. Like
Mm.
even though I mean, I don't think Junior's as fussed about whether the affair comes out as Cindy, but
He's
I
not.
still don't think he necessarily wanted it to come out from Kurjo. But he was putting Kurjo's health before anything, weren't he? When he went
Mm.
and spoke to him about
Yeah.
it.
Which
Cindy were
actually,
clearly like, "You'll ruin your family, Kurjo. You don't want to be responsible for."
honestly, like Kojo sat there trying to base like coming around from a coma, and
Bless him.
Cindy comes in like Maleficent and just sits down and like you say, tells him that he's gonna have to go home, he's gonna destroy the family, and basically gives him like really clamps him up so that when George is trying to talk to him later, he's like sat there like all sort of can't look at him, can't speak to him, is really sort of scared that anything he says is going to just destroy the family. And I actually had quite a lot of respect for the way that Junior handled all that this week. I thought, fair play,
Yes.
Junior. That's good. That's good for you.
It made me think he's not quite as sinister as I thought, the way that he
No.
handled that. It was, yeah. I felt so
But,
sorry for Kurjo as well, by the
oh,
way.
I know. Can you
When he
imagine
weren't
having that?
talking and being a mute, I was just like, oh God, just tell everyone, Kurjo, it's fine, just tell him.
But is he going to say anything? Because Junior basically left it in his hands and say, "Look, I will respect anything you say. I love you. That's all fine." Didn't like there wasn't any sort of passive aggressiveness to it. There wasn't any sort of like undercurrent of threat towards it. It was just like, "You're not. No one's going to send you home, and if
Mm,
you feel the right thing to do is to tell people, go for it. I will respect whatever you do. I'd rather you didn't, but if you do, that's up to you, and it
yeah,
won't
because
change
otherwise,
anything between us."
why does he know? Maybe on Christmas Day when it all inevitably gets
Yeah,
revealed,
it's just going to
Cindy will be
add to the.
trying to deny it, and he'll be like, "No,
Mm,
actually, it's right because this is what actually happened when I
yeah,
fell," and then that'll be out there, and then everyone will think that she pushed him.
mm,
Maybe. I
maybe.
mean, the fact that she didn't push him is bad enough anyway, isn't it? Because she would
I
have.
mean, there is just so much that is going
Yeah,
to come crashing down on top of Cindy on Christmas Day, isn't there?
I
Oh my
love
God,
it.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this reveal. There's so much. Like, there's the affair itself,
Hmm.
there's everything that's going on with Lauren, because presumably that's going to come out
Yes.
on Christmas Day as well,
Hmm.
that
Yeah.
Cindy is pushing these drugs onto Lauren. There's the
On pregnant
Kojo
Lauren.
stuff. Yeah, there's the Kojo stuff. There's the reaction from Ian, there's the reaction from Kathy, there's the reaction from
Kathy,
George.
yes.
I
There's
can't
got to
wait for
be a
Kathy to
slap or a
find out.
turkey thrown
Oh, at
from Kathy,
least.
right?
Oh,
Come
both I would
on.
say from Kathy. She'll throw
Yeah.
a turkey at her head, that'll miss,
And
and then
then
she'll just
slap her.
slap her. Yes. Marvelous. There's the reaction from the girls. That's got to be
Yeah.
a big thing as well. The fact that Gina has been living with Junior all this time, that's got to kind of
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's got to hurt as well. That's got to sting. It's going to be apocalyptic. And you know who's writing Christmas Day, Ree? Who writes these sorts of big reveal episodes better than anybody else is Mr. Simon Ashdown.
Ashdown.
Yes, he is.
Ashdown.
In fact,
Ashdown.
because there's a double helping of Christmas. This is the first time in years we've had this, right? Two
Mmm.
episodes on Christmas Day, ladies and gentlemen. One's at 7:30, which is perfectly fine and dandy, and that's the traditional
Free
time.
watershed.
Free watershed. And then there's another episode later on in the night at 25 to 11. It's crazy time to go out, but that's also going to be. I can imagine what's going to happen is that the reveal will happen at the end of the first episode, and then the cataclysmic rows that come from that is going to be the second episode.
How long is the second episode?
They're both half an hour long each, so it is an hour. It
Okay.
is an hour's worth of EastEnders, but they've split it in half.
Okay. I hope there's some swearing then, at least, if we're
Oh,
going
at
for a
least,
first half 10
yeah,
episode. I'm
may as
sure there
well.
won't be, but it'd
Oh no, but they may as well.
be great,
There'll
wouldn't
be
it?
there will be more swearing in the Gavin and Stacey Christmas special beforehand than there will be in the EastEnders episode, which is
Yes,
mad, really,
yes,
isn't
more
it?
than
Especially when
likely.
you consider what's actually going to be happening in that episode. Like you would be
Yeah.
effing and blinding and throwing things, and it would just be like gunfight in the OK Corral type thing, wouldn't it?
What's George gonna do?
I don't know what George is going to do. I think he's going to be angrier with Junior than he is with Cindy.
Yes, agreed, 100%. Yes. But
Don't you?
will
I
he
mean,
punch him? Will he punch June? No, I can't imagine him punching his son.
I don't know. I don't know.
Would he? Would he?
Would he? Is
If
he
he
just going
finds
to?
out about Kurjo, though, that might be
Yeah, that might
the
be the
tip of the
thing. That might
iceberg
be.
for him.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that the
yeah,
same
yeah.
tip of the iceberg?
It's one of them. Yeah, the straw
Yes.
that broke the camel's back. Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
it
Yeah.
it could be.
That
It
one.
could be. I don't know. I'm sort of intrigued to see how George is going to react. I think he's going to, well, because it depends what happens. I can see them all being around the Vic Christmas table, all of them together,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Cindy, Ian,
Ian, yeah.
Peter,
Peter,
Lauren,
Lauren,
and then
yeah.
all of the knights, Kojo, Junior. They're all going to be there having this big old Christmas dinner, and then it's somehow all going to come out because that's the way that you do it, right? That's the way that these big reveals happen with as many people in the room as possible that are connected to the storyline.
Maybe it will be Anna who gets up and puts the CD on then and's like,
Maybe.
guys, it's sort of like it's going to be like chaos because it's
Will
Christmas,
Freddie be
loads of
there as well then?
people.
Freddie
That's what
might be
I'm
there as well.
wondering. No, because he'll be with the Slaters.
Maybe.
Because
And
that's
then
what I
she,
would think. Or maybe Freddie comes in to give Anna a present and goes,
yeah,
guys, you know what you
throws it
all
on.
need?
Bit of bird
A
song.
bit of bird song.
Just as the affair is being revealed, and Freddie's like, "All right, everyone, calm down. I'll put this CD
Yeah,
on," and
yeah,
then it
yeah.
just all gets worse from there.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many different ways I could do it. I cannot wait. It's gonna be epic. I'm so excited. Um, so yeah, I mean, and then Ian's health problems, I think, will probably come back, like we say, come back to haunt him on Christmas Day. I think I can kind of see
Hmm.
him having a heart attack on Christmas Day, maybe.
Yeah, I can see
Where
that.
is this going to leave Cindy? Is my question. Like, surely Ian is not going to take her back, or will he? I think he might.
I think he will eventually, but Kathy's going to be like, she's not living in this house with us.
Mm.
So, and then, but I agree with you. I think Junior is going to also fall out with Cindy. So I don't know, because
Yeah,
otherwise,
so
if
do
he
I.
didn't, she could just go move in with Junior. Gina will go back to the pub. But I think they're going to end up falling out. So where's Cindy actually going to go?
I don't know because Junior and Cindy have continued this week with this mad thing they have of having sex in the most random place and dangerous places possible. And they're literally having a conversation and decide to go and have sex in the cellar when there's like a
I
pub full of
know.
people. They're crazy, these two.
The barrel
But
could need changing at any moment.
any moment. But it's just this thing that has been sort of established between the two of them. They love this danger, they love the thrill of it,
It's the
and
drama,
it's the
Junior. I love
drama.
it.
But it's sort of like once that's gone and everybody knows, I don't think Cindy will give Junior a second thought.
No,
Because
no.
also,
Mm.
as we are well aware, the only reason that Cindy's even doing this with Junior is for a substitute for his dad. That's
Oh
gonna,
yeah, and that's gonna come out, and that's
yeah, of
why
course it
Junior will
is.
end up. That's why
Yeah,
Junior will end up falling
yes,
out with her
yeah.
inevitably because she says it on the recording, doesn't she?
There are so many strands to this. It's so
Mm.
exciting. Bring it on. I mean, let us know in the comment section how you think this is all going to be revealed, what you think the impacts are going to be. Are you excited? Because I'm excited. Yes, we are. Right, ladies and gents, let's move on to the next story. Of course, following on from the Cindy stuff, the Peter and Lauren storyline is sort of ticking away in the background this week. Lauren obviously is continuing to take these drugs that Cindy's got her. I don't know what these drugs are still. Do you? They seem to be just painkillers, but I just do not trust the fact that they came from a drug dealer. That there could be
I
anything.
don't
There could be
think
anything in them.
I don't even think Lauren knows. She's just like,
No,
yeah, these are doing the trick. Nice
that'll
one.
do.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Well, what
I'll
can
ignore
we?
those.
We don't
I've
know,
got
do
pink
we?
elephants like jumping around, but my pain's gone, so that's
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah,
fine.
it's fine. Yeah. Oh,
Um,
something dodgy.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I just the way that this it's all about, I think, building the size of the explosion that's to come, I think. And
Hmm.
I can sort of see Lauren losing the baby just before Christmas, just to sort of add
Possibly.
to the layers of the stuff that's going to be revealed.
Yeah, definitely. Rather than it, because otherwise you've got to go down the route of, her having a baby that's got difficulties, and I
Mm.
can't see it going that far either. So yeah, I think you could be right that maybe she's just gonna unfortunately miscarry.
Because I don't think it's actually really been addressed what exactly is causing all the pain that Lauren's going through at the moment, is it?
No, but I saw somebody. Thank you. I can't remember your name. I do apologize, but one of our listeners explained it in a
All
comment and
right.
said that apparently it's to do with when you're addicted, your body does actually feel pain. It is like a
Oh
psychological
yeah.
addiction thing to the painkillers.
But
But I
is it
think that's
like
all it is. I think
yeah,
that's all
yeah.
it is for her,
But it
yeah.
seems to be debilitating pain that she was going through at one point. Like someone would just bump into her and she'd be keeled over. Like, does it cause that much pain?
Yeah, I think it does. I think that is part of what I think that is part of the addiction to the painkillers. Yeah. And obviously, your body's way of saying, I really need those painkillers because my body
Mm,
is in so much pain. I
yeah.
think that is what it is. I don't think, I mean, she's been checked, she's had a scan. If it was anything wrong with the baby, they would have noticed it there and then. Because if they were confident enough to say there's no damage, then they would notice if there was anything wrong there.
Yeah,
So no, and the doctor said to her, you shouldn't be in this much pain anymore. So she's been
exactly.
checked. So
Yeah.
I think it is psychological. I think it's to do
So
with the addiction.
anything that goes wrong with the baby from here is purely down to the drugs that she's taking, right?
Yes, I think so. I think it's safe
Yeah.
to assume, yes.
And because she doesn't really know what she's taking, I think that it's all going to just sort of have a massive impact quite subtly on her, and she's probably going to end up
Mm,
collapsing, and then she's going to
yeah.
have to get rushed to hospital, and then that's all going to come out. But I just wonder how I just wonder what the actual impact of this is going to be, and also the fact that she lost the drugs this week. Like Jay
Yes.
handed them over to a folder in some customer because Lauren kind of carelessly hid them in the folder. I don't know why she didn't just
Hmm.
stuff them in her pocket, but
I know I didn't get that, but yeah.
yeah, but she threw these pills in this folder to hide them from Jay, who was walking into the room at the time, and then Jay hands the folder over to a customer. So she's lost these drugs now. So that suggests that she's now going to go crawl into Cindy's hand. I need more drugs. I need more drugs, which means that she's probably going to have to take more in order to fulfill the sort of the
Hmm.
missing aspect. So is she going to overdose on them, or what's going to happen?
I didn't even think of that actually. Or it's either that or she's going to try going after the guy with the folder, is what I wondered. Because surely he's going to find him and then try and return him to the
Well,
car
yeah.
or something. So she's going to try and find him first so that he
Well,
doesn't go to jail.
it depends who this customer is. They could open that folder and go bonus. I'll have them.
That's true.
Cheers.
That
I'll
is
have
true.
them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We know all sorts lives in Walford. There could be a separate soap going on in London that we just don't see, right? And this
Mm,
guy could have addiction issues and just kind of carry on his own addiction storyline off camera and just be having a great old time with Lauren's drugs.
anything's
Could happen.
possible. But
Could happen.
I feel like he's gonna come back and say, "Oh, these were in my folder." Or I
Yeah,
think that's where
I
it's
think
gonna go.
it's what you would. Is it what you do if you found them? What would you do? Would you sort of just throw them in the bin, or would you take
It
them back?
depends. It depends how close I lived to the place.
Oh yeah,
If
if you
it
live
were on
like
my
the other
way
side
to
of London,
somewhere or something, yeah. If we're on my way, I'd be like, I found these, by the way. I don't know though, because also if that did happen to you, you don't want to be
you're
caught with something when you don't know what they are, and they're in a baggie. It's not like they're in a
yeah,
prescription
exactly.
box.
And also, the chances are that you returning these is going to get someone into, like, probably going to get someone sacked as well. Well, would that even go through your head? Or I don't know if I would return them, to be honest. I'd probably just
Would
throw
you
them
just
in the
flush them
bin.
down the toilet?
Probably would. And like looking over my shoulder constantly, convinced that the police are going to find me
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. One at a flush, one at a time.
Yeah,
Then you
one at a
definitely know
time,
that they're all flushed.
wrapping each one in loo roll, throwing them all down
Yeah,
the toilet, having a
yeah,
massive meltdown because I think I'm going to get arrested at any moment, and the FBI is going to come crashing through my
yeah.
windows at any second.
You
You never
never
know.
know.
Never
Oh
know.
no, we're not in America. It's all right. We're all right.
Oh, what's that? It's MI5. There we go.
MI5, that's it.
MI5. So yeah, that's kind of carrying on. I think ultimately it's all just going to add to the Cindy
The
explosion when it
Cindy
all comes
stuff.
out. That's what I think ultimately the point of this section of the
Mm.
storyline is, really, isn't it? And also, Lauren is kind of still sort of ticking away at Cindy, saying, "I know you're hiding something. I know you're hiding something." So she's not exactly on Cindy's side throughout all of this. But then,
No.
is she going to have to soften when she needs more drugs? Because is she getting these drugs through Cindy, or is Cindy just going
Yeah.
to go, just ask Ravi, just sort it out with Ravi, or
No. No, because Cindy needs Lauren to still stay on side, doesn't she? Because she's
yeah,
keeping her secret of the Kurjo
mm,
stuff. So she's keeping Lauren's secret of you taking all these painkillers.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But yeah, also additional to the pills that Cindy's providing, she saw him, didn't she, during the crush,
yeah,
Junior and Cindy.
exactly.
So
So
when's
that's
that
got a
memory going to
yeah.
surface again?
I guess Christmas Day myself.
Oh yeah, now I'm thinking about it. I remember something.
Now
Yeah.
the sound of mistletoe and Christmas bells are in the air. Actually, that's triggered something in my head. You were in that
Hmm.
office together just before I went arse over tit on the ground, weren't you? Yes. It's
Maybe both Lauren and Ian will need an ambulance on Christmas Day. Maybe they'll
maybe
both
double
be.
ambulance. Or
Mm.
yeah, three ambulances on Christmas Day. Something else is going to
Oh,
happen as well,
why
isn't it?
not?
As a
Why
result of it.
not?
As a result of
Yeah.
it. Train. Oh my God.
No, that's in February,
That's
Rob.
in
That's in
February.
February.
That's in
Yeah, yeah.
February. Or is it New Year's Day?
Well,
Well,
well.
we should come to that later. But yeah, all of this, I love it. I love it. I'm so excited to sort of see all this come out. It's going to be cataclysmic. I can't wait. Right, ladies and gents, we've got a couple more other stories before we get to the big one. So let's crack on with Jean. Scam me once, shame on me. Scam me once, shame on you, or the other way around, whichever way that
Oh
saying
my God,
goes.
Rob, you messed it up again. Scam me once, shame on you. Scam me twice, shame on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
That's what he meant to say,
that's what I
everyone.
meant to say. Oh dear. Anyway, Jean has been scammed again. I mean, I actually thought that that was quite a good route to take it down because now
Yes.
these people, I don't think these were the same people that were scammed the first time, were they? Or do you reckon they were?
Maybe they're connected, or they somehow recognise that she's been scammed, so they think that she's an
I
easy
don't know
target. They
though.
must know though. They must know though, because they're saying, "Oh, we'll get all your money back for you," and they've contacted her first.
Yeah. Oh well, I don't know because I imagine it's very very easy to set up a scam company saying if you've been scammed, I will look after you. Come over here, and that could be quite
Bit of
easy to
a,
sort of.
surely a bit of a coinkydink that it happens that soon after she's actually been scammed. There, they
I
must
don't,
they must somehow know.
I don't
Surely,
know. Either way, Jean
and
has.
and they said they said, "Oh, we know that you've reported it to the police or something." They were saying that there were solicitors from the police. So
Mm,
maybe it is linked to the scammers and they've gone, she's probably the type who'll report it to the police. So they've gone, okay, well, we'll pretend to be solicitors then, like linked to the police station somehow.
yeah.
Anyway.
Well, either way, Jean has been scammed yet again
Hmm.
by people claiming to have helped to be helping her from the first scam. And again, I can sort of see that happening quite easily. I
Yep.
think it's a good load of awareness to raise for that. Like, it's all very well to say, be careful of scams. Like, look at Jean, she's just been scammed. But then to continue it and say, actually, this is also possible as well. Once you've been scammed once doesn't mean that you're not immediately going to be scammed
Yeah.
again. I think that's quite a clever way of doing it. I was like, fair play. Um,
Yeah.
and it seems that what these people have now done is opened up a load of loans in Jean's name because she's handed over all these personal details because she was so trusting the second time. Because you can sort of
Hmm.
see her thinking, like, why would I be targeted again when they've just
Hmm.
taken all my money? I think if anything, you feel like you're the safest from being scammed at that point, don't you?
Not nothing left to lose, I guess. Not
Exactly.
thinking actually they're going to take out a load of loans in my name instead because I've not got
Yeah.
any money left. Yeah.
I mean, of course, what this does do is give us another Christmas where the Slaters are going to be absolutely skint. Christmas is not a good time for the Slaters, money wise,
No.
ever. It rarely is. I mean, if they can avoid losing their house this year, that would be a goal, I would say.
Yeah, oh surely now they're not going to make a homeless at Chris. Who is it still? Suki is their landlady.
Uh, yeah, I
Yeah,
think so. I think so. They haven't addressed that for a while, but I think it's still Suki that owns it. Or did someone buy it? I thought someone bought it. I can't remember.
or has Nish inherited it from Suki during the
Yeah,
divorce? Perhaps.
I can't remember. But then I wouldn't have thought if Suki has got anything to do with that house, so then she'll be fine. Like because she's
Well,
with
this is
Eve
what I
and she's
mean.
not.
Yeah, with
Yeah,
Eve.
they're
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
fine.
yeah,
They're fine.
yeah,
Surely, surely, surely. Anyway,
yeah. But if it's Nish, anyway,
well, I
I think
suspect
Nish has got other things on his
Nish has
mind,
got
hasn't
Nish
he?
is a bit
Yeah,
busy at the moment. Bit busy.
yeah,
Yes. Um, you can imagine him just turning up at the house going, "I'm out. I need this place." Jesus, that could happen, couldn't it? That could happen.
yeah. Could.
So either way, Jean is. I thought Julian Wright did very well this week. Actually, I thought some great
Yeah,
performances from Julian Wright because she just sort of fell apart. I was just like, how could
yeah,
people be this evil? Because Jean, bless her, at her best, has got quite a sort of naive view of the world sometimes, and sort of doesn't understand why anybody would target anybody to that degree,
hmm,
which I understand completely. Like, so she sort of feels really vulnerable, really lost, probably feels a little bit old as well, actually
yeah.
because you always
She's
hear
very
that
trusting,
these
isn't she?
she is very trusting, but then you also always hear that these scammers always go for older people. So to have that sort of stigma attached to you, I imagine, has quite the psychological effect as well.
Yeah, because I didn't somebody say like, oh, you didn't give them all your passwords and stuff to your banking, did you? And she was
Yeah,
like, yeah, I did.
yeah, I
They said
did.
that they
Yeah,
needed it, and that is quite what you'd associate with an older person to
yeah,
do. Yeah,
completely.
that's
Yeah,
like a
because
number one rule, FYI for anybody. Number
don't
one
hand your
rule: don't
passwords over.
ever give your password out to anybody, not even
Nobody
your
genuine.
bank,
No, no,
not
because your
even
bank
your
will never ask for
bank.
it. Your bank
They'll
will
never
never ask
ask
for
for
it.
it.
As they tell you in every email they ever send you. All right. They will
Hmm.
never ever ask for your passwords. I can't even remember my passwords. I don't even know if I've got any passwords. That's how secret they are. That even
Yeah.
I know them. But bless her. Bless her. She has told Harvey the truth this week.
Yes. Thankfully.
Well, you say thankfully. I
Oh.
wonder what the impact of that is going to be. Like, is Jean going to continue? Like, yes, she's let Harvey in, but is it going to have an impact on their relationship moving forwards? Is my question because the spectre of Kathy hangs over Jean and Harvey now.
There
So
is that.
is What do you
Maybe
reckon?
Harvey's going to keep offering money to Jean or something, and she's just going to keep being. Because don't get me wrong, by the way, I absolutely love Jean, but for some reason she's so defensive when it comes to Harvey. Maybe it's the whole taking it out on the people closest to you.
Of
So it's
course.
every time he offers her some help, like here's some money for some Christmas presents, is she just going to
Mm.
take that? Is she just going to
As
be
an
really
insult,
defensive
yeah.
about it? Yeah,
I
and be
think
like, I
so.
don't need your help. Oh,
I
now
think
he's
so.
calling me stupid again and reminding me about how stupid I've been. And
Yeah.
he's going to be like, no, I'm just trying to help.
Yeah.
Keep pushing
And
him
yeah,
away
yeah.
into the arms of Kathy,
Into the
perhaps.
into the
Yes.
tentacles of Kathy Beale.
Mm.
Can't
Is he
blame
going to
him.
tell Kathy? And Kathy's going to say, here, borrow some money from me, Harvey. And then he
Maybe.
doesn't tell. And then he's not going to tell Jean that he's got this money from Kathy, maybe something like that. Could
Yeah.
see that happening again. That'll drive another wedge between them.
Yeah. It's all gonna get very, very messy, isn't it? Matters of the heart,
Yeah.
matters of
Poor
money.
Jean.
Poor
Poor
Jean. I did.
Jean,
I
though.
did honestly, really, really feel for her this week because she
Mm-hmm.
was devastated, and I just love the fact that she turned around to Stacey and was sort of talking about all these what's been going on, and Stacey is so well trained at being skint at Christmas. She's like, "Oh, it's fine. We'll be fine.
Tell
We'll
me
deal
something
with it.
new.
Tell me something new. What Yeah, the sky's blue, is it as well? Yeah, we're skint at Christmas. Big shock. So I think they'll be all right in the long run. I think the money situation is sort of it. Like we say, it's our favorite word, the catalyst for sort of the mess that's going to be
Yes.
coming in Harvey and Jean's relationship and the money itself. One or two things will happen, right? It will sort of just fade away and we'll just never hear about these money problems ever again.
Mm.
Or it's going to get sort of, I mean, I don't see how it gets any worse from here, to be honest, the money situation, because she's now already got loans against her. So presumably now that means that she's going to start getting letters and demands and all that kind of thing. The stress is just going to keep building and building.
Well, do you know what? Maybe I'm being really naive, right? But if somebody's taken out loans in your name falsely,
Yeah,
why would you then be expected to pay them when it's fraud?
you'd be surprised.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You'd
Even though
be
you've
surprised.
legally not signed anything and it's like somebody else pretending to be me did that, but
I
I've still
know
got to pay it.
I know somebody who was in a coercive relationship years and years ago, right?
Right.
Got out of that relationship, and still to this day has demand letters land on their doorstep because of like underhand stuff that bastard was doing behind his back with money
But that, like, I can kind of see that though, even though they were coerced into
because it
it,
was in
if
his
they've
name.
actually signed it over and agreed to it,
Mm,
if you know what I
mm,
mean, I can see, not that obviously that makes it any more right, but I can kind of understand that a bit more rather than
mm,
a total stranger who's just taken a loan out in your name really falsely.
mm. It seems
They
like it should be
must.
quite. You'd have thought,
Mm,
you'd have thought, but I think we might be discovering that it's not going to be as simple as that
well,
moving
yeah,
forward.
I heard that they do show us all this side of
Yeah,
stuff and educators because I'd quite like
absolutely.
to know.
That
Yeah.
seems to be very much the aim of this story, isn't it? It's all about
Mm,
sort of showing how bad these scams can get and sort of how much they can throw you into complete financial disarray. So
mm,
it's going to be interesting to sort of see how far they go with it moving forwards before we end up with the inevitable sort of path towards Harvey and Kathy. Sort of
yeah.
see how it goes. Right, ladies and gents, final little story before we get to the big one, and that is Sharon and Teddy who have had their first kiss. Mwah. On to our penultimate story now, and that is Sharon and Teddy. And Sharon's fetish for bold Mitchells has led us to a moment where they have had their first kiss. Now, I have never been a massive kind of critique of Teddy's fashion choices as everybody else has, all right? Because I know you had a big old issue with the jumpers over the shoulders, and I didn't care about that. I do, however, draw the line at that flat cap he was wearing this week. Why? Like, it just ages somebody wearing caps like that, doesn't it? It just
Oh,
seemed
see,
to
I
me.
didn't think that was as bad as the jumper, if I'm
I
honest with you,
thought,
but
no, I would take 10 jumpers over his shoulder than one of those caps. I've got to be honest.
do you know what he's doing? Clearly, Nicola was quite in charge of his wardrobe when
Oh
they were
yeah,
together. So now he's like, well, now I ain't got you telling me how to dress. I'm going to dress exactly how I want to.
which
And
is
that's what
a
he's choosing
worrying
to
thing.
wear.
If that's what he wants to wear, that's worrying in my opinion. But there we are.
I
Um,
don't think it was that bad. I thought the
I
jumpers
just,
were
I, I
worse.
I don't know why. It was just the last thing I expected him to pop on his head. I really wasn't expecting that at all. Just a flat
Maybe
cap.
I'm used to it. A lot of people around where I live wear flat caps. I think it's
He
quite
looked
a Yorkshire
like
bloke thing to do.
he looked like he was strolling his way through a village with like a huge sort of what they call those big guns under his shoulder. It was just on his way to a country
Oh,
pub.
a farmyard. A
Yeah,
farmyard?
a
A
farmyard.
farmer. A
A farmer.
farmer.
Yeah, he
I
looked like a
think so.
farmer. Let's just say that. He looked like
Yes.
a farmer. There we are.
Okay.
Bless
Fair
him.
enough.
Bless him. But doesn't seem to have had any sort of impact on Sharon. If anything, it's
If
encouraged her.
anything, yeah,
If anything, it
exactly.
turns
She's
out
like,
that
oh, you in that flat cap
put the
today?
flat cap on. Oh, and then take
Mm.
it off. That's like the reveal for
Oh,
Sharon, isn't
now
it?
I can see the boldness.
Yeah, that's the reveal for
Yeah,
Sharon. Like she
exactly.
loves the cap, and then she sort of slowly slips it up his head. Oh my god, he's bald as well. Rah, and then just pounces on him like a cougar.
He
Um,
knows what he's doing
he
then,
does,
Rob.
doesn't he? He
See?
does. He does.
See?
He knows what he's doing. However, they have their first little date this week because all the
Mhm.
madness of the Nish storyline, which we'll discuss shortly, is sort of going on in the square. So they sort of
Yes.
are sort of locked in Sharon's house.
Yes.
And Sharon's having a bit of a moment, isn't she, about Keanu? Because everything's sort of reminding her about everything that's gone on with Keanu. And she's like, I'm not really in the right headspace for this. I kind of quite like that over a year on, Sharon is still having these moments about Keanu. Because there was a time where she genuinely really loved him, wasn't there?
Well, it was only a year ago that she was about to marry him. So, yeah,
Exactly.
at least they're making it more realistic. Like, yeah, she might still be a little bit
Yeah.
hung up on that ex that she was
Yeah.
about to marry, who
Which
she
was
thought she'd had a kid with. Yeah, I think that
yes,
was fair.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought Teddy was very, very sweet with her, actually. I kind of
Mhm.
quite like this. I do like Sharon and Teddy together. I think it's working quite well. What do you think?
I think him and Nicola are so much more well suited there. I get
But that's the
it. I
point,
get
isn't it?
it. Yeah, yeah, I do get it. I don't mind Sharon and Teddy, to be fair. It makes sense that she'd go for another Bold Mitchell, but
Yeah. But what? Yeah, exactly. For a start, you know,
mm,
and remember when she first started with Keanu, he didn't have any hair then either. She has
yes, of
definitely got a
course.
thing for a
She's got a
shaved head.
type.
He's got a type.
Yes.
Um, I do like the whole thing though is all sort of zoned down, I think, on a Nicola Sharon feud, which I am so here for. I can't even tell you.
Yes, 100%. It's funny though, isn't it? Because if they didn't have the Teddy involvement, they'd probably be really good friends, actually. They probably quite like each other.
You reckon? Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
think.
don't know though. I
Well,
think I
do you
think they
not?
I
You
know.
think they clash?
I think Sharon is one of these people that sort of they both like to have sort of like that Mitchell sort of matriarchal role. Sharon, I think, is
Okay,
a
yeah,
bit more
yeah.
unspoken about it. She sort of just
Yeah.
assumes that's her position and just sort of gets on with it. But when someone like Nicola comes along, who seems to be like, no, that's my job, thanks very much. Ultimately, I think
Mm,
Sharon will come out fighting.
okay,
I
yeah,
think,
because that's
and I
yeah.
think Nicola has underestimated who she's about to take on, if I'm honest as well.
Yes, very true. Very true. Because Nicola is a lot more blatant about it, like
She
you
is, but
say.
she's no
Yeah.
wallflower, so I think we're in for some fun with these two. I
Yes.
cannot wait to watch like all that kick off. But Nicola is sort of kind of spreading around the square, trying to sort of influence people. She gets involved in this calendar thing that Mo's doing.
Oh, yes, the calendar business.
Yes, if I could get this calendar sent to me, by the way, for next year, I'd be very grateful. All the naked men. Did we have a great scene with
Oh,
Winston this
yeah,
week?
that'd be a good shout, actually. We should
It would
totally
be.
do that if we can.
Yeah, there we go.
Anyone out
Um,
there?
didn't we have a great scene with Winston this week? I loved that. I thought that was a big
Yes.
old scene. I think Winston's most dialogue he's had in years. I really enjoyed
Yeah.
that. It was fun.
Yeah. Yes.
It's a great time to be an EastEnders background character at the moment, isn't it? You get scenes like that for
Isn't
Winston,
it?
and
Yeah.
Tracy gets her own little mini series on iPlayer. Go check it out. It's great. I
It's not
loved.
on iPlayer though, is
Is it
it?
on iPlayer? I think it's on iPlayer. It's around somewhere. Have a look on the EastEnders social media, and you'll find, and it'll lead you to
It's
it
on
in some way.
it's on like a link to BBC Studios. Just type it into Google, I think.
Yeah,
Unless
you'll
I'm
find it.
mistaken and it is on iPlayer, but I couldn't find it on there.
Well, if it's not, then it should be. But either way, Tracy's had her
Agreed.
own little mini series like made because they were doing a director training thing, and they used
Yeah.
Tracy and
They
sort of
were
gave her a
it
big
were
role.
fantastic as well. The
Great.
directors all did
I
amazing
know.
on
Fair
that.
play to
Yeah,
them.
really.
Fair play to them.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous. Can you imagine that? Like having your first sort of big work working at EastEnders. I'm so jealous.
Mhm.
Um, so there we go. That's sort of kind of kicking off and sort of underway in the background. Teddy and Sharon, I think, are at the first stages of starting to get together. Nicola sort of in the background, sort of watching, well aware what's going on. She's going to start trying to sort of mess those two up in the future. It's just going to be fun.
Yes.
It's going to be camp soapy nonsense between Sharon and Nicola, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
Same.
My would my my other sort of worry
Yes.
is Nicola going to start working on Phil? Because she knows, thanks to Honey, that there is history between Sharon and Phil. So is she going to start trying to work that in and sort of try and mess Teddy and Sharon up that way?
What, try and get Sharon and Phil back together, you mean?
Yeah, or at
So
least
that
have
Sharon's away.
Phil wreck things in some way.
Possibly, yeah. Although we've not seen Phil, have we? So will he be that easy to get hold of? Because from what we can tell, he's kind of just in his house, not really talking to people, is he?
In the coming weeks, I think we'll be seeing a bit more of Phil, and this
Yes.
loneliness thing is going to start building up. Steve McFadden's going to knock it out of the park. I can't wait
Of
to see that. It's
course.
going to be
Yeah.
great. Right, ladies and gents, we're on to the big story of the week now. Nish is back. So, we did say a few weeks ago that Nish kind of leaving in the back of a police car, never to be seen again, didn't feel that satisfying, did it?
No, I think we knew that he was coming back. To me, it was quite obvious that that wasn't the end.
It was, but then I didn't think that we were going to get the Hannibal
Well,
Lecter slash Michael Myers approach that we got this week with it.
no, I wasn't expecting this either. So, come on, let's address the elephant in the room, Rob. A lot of people online are saying
Yes, a
this
lot
has
of
gone too
people.
far.
Yeah, a lot of people are sort of like, really? Are we here again? And I feel like it seems like the way that Nish should go out. Yes, I feel like maybe we could have done this a while ago. I'm not denying that.
Yes, yeah.
But I feel like this is going to be like the. Let's be honest. If you're sick of the sight of Nish, he's going to be gone by New Year's Day. All right, New Year's Day I think is going to be when it happens because I think the Christmas stuff is all going to be the Cindy stuff, and then we know that the wedding is on New Year's Day. So Nish will be gone by New Year's Day. I predict. I cannot see him staying past that point. And it's going to be big because apparently all the teasers that we've been led to believe by the director, Christopher McGill, on Twitter have said that New Year's Eve, New Year's Day is going to be huge. So, what is this to complain about in that respect, really? Like a massive episode, massive climax to it. I'm looking forward to it. I get what people are saying, don't get me wrong. I do understand, but I don't mind it that much, to be honest.
I was a bit like, here we go again. It's
Yeah,
Nish.
yeah,
She's
yeah.
trying to get revenge on everyone. But I was a bit like that. And then once he'd escaped, and I think it was the whole like, oh, look, he's managed to escape from the back of an ambulance. Nish is at it again. It was a bit like, oh, have we not seen all this kind of drama with
We've
Nish?
not
Is
seen
it
him
not
escape from the
done?
back of an ambulance before, in all
We've
fairness.
not, to be fair. We haven't, in fairness.
No.
But then once it had happened, I was kind of here for it. I was like, right,
Yeah.
okay, as long as this is the end,
This is the
then
end. This is the
fine.
big
Yeah,
this
I
is the
think
big
it
Nish
is. Yeah,
climax. No doubt about it. This is
yeah.
it, okay? And you know, because I was reminded of the Grey storyline a little bit this week, and I think that's purely because at one point
Yes.
the doctor that he was getting all to sort of do the dodgy sort of like Nish is
Dealings
dying
with,
thing.
yeah.
I genuinely thought they brought Grey back for a moment. I was like, oh my god, it's Grey, and then sort of realised it's a different
Same.
actor. I genuinely was terrified for a moment there. Um,
That would have been great, though. In a
no,
way.
it wouldn't. No, I think not. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, Nish is just properly Nish this week. I just thought it was all very sort of pantomime in a lot of ways, which made it which I think sort of meant I didn't mind it as much because this is the thing about Nish. He is very much at this stage, I think, a bit of a mustache twirling supervillain.
Yeah.
All right, there are no redeeming features about him whatsoever. You
No.
understand that he's really hurt from the betrayal of his family and that he will do anything to sort of regain that control. I get that, okay. But his motivation at this point purely is to destroy Suki and Eve, and if whoever gets in the way from that is fair game.
And more for them for not
Yeah.
just waiting and not saying anything about a wedding. Like, just wait until he's died.
Well,
Make
to
your
be
life
fair,
a bit easier. I
to be
get
fair,
it.
Suki didn't. It was Nugget that did that.
Yeah, but he did say like they didn't. Did they need to tell everyone the wedding was back on? Couldn't they have just got back together? Because that was specifically Nisha's last wish, wasn't it? It was, please don't marry Eve. Just wait until he's passed and then sort
But
your wedding
I
out
completely
again.
understand
I get
why.
it.
Yeah, but I completely understand why Suki would want to say no. I'm still marrying her.
No, I
because
do. No, I get that as well.
then
But
he thinks he's won. And after everything that Suki and Nish have been
yeah,
through
yeah.
together, the last thing that Suki would ever want is for Nish to think. Because at the end of the day, Suki has that element about her.
Yeah, I know. When she's thinking, I don't want to be, you're not controlling me anymore and all that. And I
Exactly.
get it. And she's got every right. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. She's got every right to get married to Eve. I just think make your life a little bit easier. You've only got
Well,
just
she
a
could have.
month to go. Well, 24 hours you thought you
Yeah,
had to go. You still
yeah.
had to you still had to tell him, but
She could
anyway.
have saved herself a lot of problems just by placing a pillow
Yeah,
over it,
that's what I mean.
doing a Reese, and
Well,
placing a pillow over his head. Over his
talking
head.
of which, we haven't seen Reese and Bianca actually,
No,
so she's just still living it up in
yeah, living it
that
up. Yeah,
shed.
she's living it up in the shed, in an egg box shaped shed. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know when we'll see Bianca again. Possibly Reese might bring her a bit of turkey on Christmas Day.
When is that going to be? Yeah, because
I
we've
don't
just
know.
not heard anything,
I've not
have
heard a
we?
thing. I've not heard a thing about when it might be coming back either. So
No.
God knows. Bianca is going to be a shell of a woman when we next see her, I suspect. She's not going to be
Oh
shouting as
God.
much, I suspect.
She's got
Um,
commode there, so at
she
least we know
has
she's all right on
several.
that front.
That's the
You
thing. It's
reckon
going to
several?
Reese is going to open that door, and there's just going to be pans of wee everywhere, isn't there? Hey,
Well,
if
you
you're going
would
to
though, wouldn't you? Yeah,
yeah,
if you're going to
if you're
do
gonna
it.
yeah, if you're gonna kidnap somebody, I'm sorry, but you've then entered yourself into the bush tucker trial of cleaning up after your victim.
Yeah,
So get
yeah,
over it,
fair.
Reese. Yeah. Anyway, so I genuinely thought there was a vibe of Hannibal Lecter about Nish this week with that oxygen mask over his face. I think that was very deliberate.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
deliberate.
yeah.
And then Michael Myers always escapes when he's being transferred to another prison. So I think there was an element of that as well.
Right.
They're
Okay,
turning
there we
him in.
go.
They're
Yeah.
turning into a horror movie villain at this point, Nish. All right, and I really
Mm.
don't mind it. I know that it's like I say, I know that this could have happened many months ago, but do you know what? Whatever. All right. These supervillain stories always go on a little bit too long, I think, but it makes the resolution quite satisfying when it eventually does come. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get what people are saying. I really, really do. And there was a couple of moments where this week we kind of think of, come on, but
Yeah.
I'm all right with it.
I love some Panisar drama anyway,
Yeah.
but it is what it is now. It's happened. In the moment, I were pretty annoyed and I was just like, oh, come on.
Mm.
But now it's happened. I'm like, come on,
Yeah.
then let's see where this is
We're here
going.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you where it's going. We've got Nish currently sort of slumming it down in some abandoned flat around the corner. My favourite part of that was when the doctor knocked on his door. There's a policeman literally
Policeman
walking
walk
past,
past,
walking
yeah.
past,
Yeah.
and the Walford police are the most useless cretins ever to disgrace the earth, aren't they? They really are.
Hide. Nish is not daft. You hide in plain sight, don't you, Rob?
Yeah, that's true.
You
That's
know?
true.
Mm-hmm.
So, how long? I mean, obviously, New Year's Day is going to be the climax. I mean, do you think that we're gonna? Is this going to be one of these things where we don't see Nish now for a little while? We just know that he's there, and Suki won't discover him until maybe New Year's Eve, New Year's Day time. It's not that
I
far
don't know.
away.
I feel like if you were Nish, like knowing Nish's character, he'd probably like to plant a few little seeds around the square so that they know that he is around.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Maybe leave a note on Suki's table or so, do you know some these little things,
Yeah, yeah,
something
yeah.
at Walford East maybe to show that he's been there. These
Mm.
little things just so that people know he's
Well,
around.
we had quite a few little lines from this week implying that A, I'm going to go nuclear, and B, they should all be
Yes.
terrified. There's a lot of that this week. Nish saying sort
Yeah.
of delivering doomsday lines, saying I'm going to kill everybody and all that
He
kind of
said
stuff.
all as well. Do you think
Oh,
Avani
his
and
whole
Nugget are in
family.
danger?
I would imagine everybody's in danger. Anybody
You
that
think now
I
it's
think
the end is like, right,
yeah, he doesn't
whatever.
care. He knows he's dying. I mean, let's be honest. For a dying man, he's had a good innings, hasn't he?
Yeah.
But I think that just everybody Panesar related is in danger now because everybody has turned their back on him. Even the kids haven't given him the loyalty that he wanted.
Nugget has this, so I'm wondering if Nugget's
He
going to be a
kind of
big part
has.
because he's still calling Nugget, and Nugget's the one who told him about Eve and Suki. Is
Yeah,
Nugget going to be one of his targets for like?
kind
I don't think he'd
maybe.
harm him though. I don't think he'd harm the
No,
kids.
I don't think he'd harm it. But then he knows that Suki and Nugget are really, really close.
That's
So
true
would you
because
use
that's why
Nugget?
Suki went out with the knife,
Yeah.
weren't it? Because she was
What was
trying to
that
look for
about?
Nugget.
What was that about? She grabs his butcher's knife and then starts randomly knocking on garage doors, going, "You in there?"
She's a boss bitch. I'm
She
here for
is.
it.
Yeah.
I'm
But she
here
would just
for it.
randomly knock.
I
And why
loved
would
it.
Nugget why would Nugget be hiding in a garage?
I did wonder, is that relevant? Because we've never seen that garage
No.
before. Is that
Like
some place that
he
Nugget
just
seems to
knocked.
go to that we don't know
I
about
know,
or
that's what I
something? Is it
thought. I
meant
was
to be
like,
a hangout spot that he
yeah,
goes
it's gonna be
to?
revealed that this is Nugget's gaming room or something. And she just knocked on this
And then,
random garage. Are
so,
you in there?
yeah,
No, of course he's not. So why would he be?
no, you're right, because otherwise, why did we have that there? Is that where something's going to happen with Nish then,
Yeah,
maybe? They're planting the seeds of this is a place to look out
maybe.
for? Are we reading
Maybe.
too much into it? You know
Us,
what?
never.
The sick stuff, right, has made me overanalyze
Hasn't it
EastEnders in a way
just?
that I never used to
Turned you
do.
into a
Like,
paranoid mess, isn't it?
constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fun. It's
Great.
good fun. So what do you think ultimately Nish's plan is? How is this all going to play out, do you think? Like, what is this nuclear plan that he's got?
He's got to
I've,
kidnap Suki on the wedding day or something like that, surely. So,
yeah, I
or
think so.
Nugget, or holding Nugget hostage, maybe. I feel like Nugget's going to be quite a big
I
part of
think
it.
I feel like if I was Nish, I'd go for Nugget in all honesty
Yeah,
because
you
I
would,
feel
wouldn't
like
you?
I think so because Nugget is sort of he knows how close Suki and Nugget are. Also, taking Nugget gets to Ravi because
Yes.
Ravi very much turned his. I was so pleased that Ravi turned his back on Nish this week because I genuinely thought when he turned around to Ravi and said, "Make sure this wedding doesn't happen," I thought, "Oh come on, Ravi, please."
Yeah, but come on, how many times has Ravi had a change of heart as well, though, to
Yeah,
be fair? Although I
I
don't
know.
think he will this time. It
I don't
does
think he
feel
will this time.
although I thought that last year when, he witnessed Nish trying to like bash Suki's head in, but then he
Well, yeah.
still managed to somehow forgive him.
Yeah,
Honestly.
and Vinny was forgiving him even after he'd tried to kill him a few weeks back. So he's
Yeah,
got an impact on this
yeah,
family.
true.
But I think this is it now. The whole family basically. Yes, you could say that Nugget. I mean, even Avani, I don't think is going to end up giving that much sort of time of day
That
anymore, is she?
otherwise, I would have thought that he'd go for Avani, but
I think
Avani was the
Nugget
one who
is.
made him like
Yeah,
basically decide to go to jail for
I
Suki, didn't
think.
she?
I think Nugget is the one chink in the Panasar armor that he can take advantage of at this point.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be Nugget he goes for out of everyone.
Yeah,
And he knows that Suki won't want to marry Eve while Nugget's missing.
yeah.
All that jazz. Yeah, it's going to be. Gotta be. I mean, if I was Suki and Eve, right, I would be postponing that wedding until I know that Nish is gone.
Mm.
That's what I'd do. I'd be like, until there's a body or Nish has been, put back behind bars, the wedding is not going on. But of
Well,
course, it's not
I
going to
think
happen, is
what
it?
this no, and I think what this also means is that Nish's eventual demise is going to be a sort of explosive sort of climax. So, if we had to predict it now, how is Nish going to die?
Fire. Still feel like a
Fire.
fire. Yeah,
Fire is
because we've
always a
had
good
lots
one.
of things. Yeah. I mean, the minute mark we've still not seen since it's been having this refurb. Is there a reason why this has been like? Is something going to happen in there still?
Maybe or something. I think it's going to have to be explosive, and as we know, New Year's Day is big. So does that mean
This is what I mean.
explosions?
Where's the if it's an explosion, Walford East? Maybe I don't know.
Maybe
Where would it
Wolford
happen?
East. Maybe
The
Wolford
garage.
East.
The garage. That's where it's going to be. That's why we've been introduced to the garage somehow. Maybe that's where he's going to have Nugget. Something's going to
Maybe.
happen. As long
Hey,
as Nugget doesn't die, I'm all
no,
right.
if Nugget dies, we're ending the podcast. Let me tell you.
I agree.
Yes,
I
that's
agree.
it. Done. If Nugget dies, because I love Nugget, he's probably my favourite Panasar member. He's great. So if Nugget dies, it's goodbye from me and it's goodbye from
And
her. You
goodbye
hear me?
from me.
Yeah, you hear me. You hear me. There we are then. But let us know in the comment section where you think this is all going to go. What do you think is going to be the climax? How do you think Nish is going to die? Remember, I've always stuck with this that Nish always said that he wants Suki to be by his side when he dies. I think that's something that they have very much put in there deliberately. There's so many
Mm,
different ironic ways they could make that happen. That's going to be the sort of key pivot point, I think, as to where the story goes. As long as Suki is by Nish's side when he dies, he gets that one little bit of satisfaction, but it'll twist it around so that it's not
mm,
satisfaction, I think. But
yeah.
mm, there you go.
Mm,
Bring it on though. I'm excited about the climax. I love a big sort of villain demise storyline. I mean, yes, it has gone on a little bit too long, but at the same time, it looks like it's going to be really, really dramatic and big and exciting. So I can't complain
yes.
about that really.
No.
Gold Star this week, Ree. What do you reckon?
I was just trying to think then. I think Suki, for going out with the knife for
Yeah.
Nugget.
Fair enough. I think I'm going to give mine to Junior this week. Actually, I was quite impressed with the
Oh,
way that he
okay.
dealt with all that, and I feel like Junior is going to be one to watch in the coming weeks. So yeah, Junior, and Suki for our gold stars this week. Who are you giving your gold star to? Let us know. And final section of the podcast, as usual, ladies and gents, is comments from you. Before we get to a couple of comments, let's talk about the scheduling for this Christmas. So, we have had the scheduling announced. As we said earlier, a double EastEnders on Christmas Day. First one's going out at 7:30, and the next one's going out at it's either 10:30 or 5 minutes later at 25 to 11. Either way, we'll be in bed. I'm telling you now, you will be in bed waiting for that.
I
Try and stay
might try and
awake.
stay up.
Try. Well, how could you not? It's the big Cindy reveal, right? And you love the Cindy
I
stuff,
know. I
so
don't. I hate a spoiler as well,
I
and I
know,
probably won't
and
be
you'll
able to.
definitely
I
see a
might.
spoiler.
It's Christmas Day. I might have to try and stay awake for
Yeah,
it.
it's
Yeah.
Christmas Day. Even if you're absolutely pissed, what I would say is don't be expecting a instant reaction from us like we had last year.
No, absolutely not. And you know what? We still got slated for that.
Did we?
Well, not slated, but people wanted more. We were like,
Oh
guys, it
yeah,
was like 11:30. It was well
yeah.
past our bed. Well,
And
my
we were
bedtime
drunk.
anyway. Oh yeah. I missed a very,
Ah.
very vital part of the episode as
You
well.
did, yeah, yeah, that's true, yeah. So just so we're clear, writers for the big episodes this year are Lauren Clee for the 23rd and the 20,
Oh.
23rd and the 24th. The 24th, by the way, Christmas Eve is a 45-minute long episode. So something's going to be kicking
What
off
time's
around
that one?
then.
Is that being
That's
aired still on iPlayer
uh
first?
I think the only one that isn't going to be aired on iPlayer are the two Christmas Day eps.
Right.
And probably New Year's Day as well. So Lauren Clee for the 23rd and the 24th, Simon Ashdown for both Christmas Day episodes and Boxing Day. So boom.
Mm.
Simon Norman for New Year's Eve. We've got New Year's Eve back this year, and then Kevin Rundle for New Year's Day. And the
Okay.
Christmas week is being directed by Carl Nielsen, and New Year's Day by Christopher McGill. So we've got
Oh.
pulling out the big guns this year. It's going to be good. Boom, boom. I can't wait. I'm
Quite some guns
excited.
there, Rob.
Quite some guns. I'm very excited. So there we go. That's all going to be good. So just keep an eye on any scheduling stuff because it's Christmas and scheduling can be a little bit sort of fragile over the Christmas period. I'm honestly amazed that they managed to get two episodes because I was wondering how they were going to get one in, never mind two. But they've sort of split it off quite well because the BBC schedule is going to be rammed this year. So BBC One, I'm going to be sorted this year for Christmas telly. Can't wait. So there we are then. Any comments this week, Ree?
We've got a comment from Jack Warren who says tonight's EastEnders was talking about Thursday's episode was like a Halloween movie. Nish a killer on the loose and kitchen knives.
Yes.
I know that's what you said,
Now
didn't it, Rob?
it is Ree. Now Ree doesn't know who Michael Myers is. It transpires.
Say.
You hadn't heard of him, did you? I showed you
I
a
told
picture.
you
You're like,
I did a really good job of smiling
you
and
did.
nodding when you were
You
saying
did.
it, but I didn't have a
Yeah.
clue what you were on about. No, I
No.
didn't. No.
Well, there we go
No.
then. So, but it's right. He's basically a slasher villain at this point. Is basically what we're saying.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
And then Rachel Eilish June has said, absolutely love tonight's episode. That Duff Duff was great. So I'm guessing their wedding will happen on New Year's Day, but Nish will epically ruin it, probably by derailing the train into the wedding venue. Right, Rob? Yes, Rachel. That's exactly what's going to happen. Mm.
Where is the wedding venue going to be? Do you think it's the Goodwara?
It could be that garage.
Yeah.
That's where the wedding is.
No, where would it be?
I
Just
mean,
a
the Vic
registry
probably.
office?
The Vic probably. Well, the reception will be in the Vic, so it
Yeah,
always
the
is.
reception. I thought Walford East, maybe. Ravi
Or
do
maybe.
something special for
Oh,
the
maybe
reception.
actually, because that's the Panesar thing, so you could be right there.
Yeah,
Yes,
that'd
maybe.
make most. But I don't know where the actual ceremony would be. Maybe we won't see
The
that.
Gurdwara
No,
would
we
make
can't see the
sense.
ceremony.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course we have. And I think the Gurdwara would be quite interesting to sort of see
Mm.
that play out there. So
Because then I'm
maybe.
thinking, would Nish be a bit angry
Yeah,
about the Goodwara allowing it to
yeah,
happen there or something as well, maybe?
yeah, yeah. Tap them while we're at it as well. Deal with everyone on the Gurdwara before I get to the Panesars as well. Yeah. It's going to be
Why
crazy.
not?
So if you would like to get in touch with us with any questions, any comments of the week's episodes, you can do the following.
You can find us on Facebook at Albert Square After Dark, on Twitter and Instagram at E20 After Dark. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. You can listen to us on Apple and all your favourite podcast sites. Drop us an email at e20afterdarkpodcast@gmail.com. If you'd like to buy us a coffee, you can do so by going on buymeacoffee.com/E20 After Dark.
We'll have to change it to if you'd like to buy us an eggnog, seeing as though we're in the
I was
Christmas
just
period
thinking
now. Yeah.
gingerbread latte.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's buy us a gingerbread latte or a mulled
Yeah.
wine or
Ooh.
or a turkey
Either.
sandwich. Either way, I'll take it. I'll take out
A
me.
full turkey that we can throw at the wall.
Throw at the walls if yes, if that doesn't happen, and we'll throw turkeys ourselves if it doesn't happen at Christmas. We'll have a
Yeah.
turkey throwing contest. You know, like they have like cheese throwing contests somewhere in Devon, don't they? We'll do
Yeah.
that. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, is very Linda themed, I hear. Linda
Ooh.
is going to hit rock bottom next week.
Well, I did hear. Sorry,
Go on.
I heard a comment. I need to say this before I forget it.
Oh, yes.
Elaine said something to, I think, Gina and Anna before she left for a honeymoon of make sure she eats.
Right.
Make sure she eats. Yeah, but she's had anorexia before. I wondered if they are going down that route with her again. I just wondered why she said that to them so specifically.
Well, to stop her being pissed all the time, I thought.
I didn't. Maybe I told you the sick stuff has made me
It's
analyse things in
absolutely turned
ways
your
that I
brain
wouldn't. But I
inside out,
did
hasn't it?
wonder if there was a reason, considering a history.
We'll find out next week. And I wonder if those pictures that were floating around a couple of months ago are going to be relevant for next week.
Oh,
Let's wait and see. And you can be there for the fallout from that with us at the usual time next week. Until then, it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
See you later. Goodbye.
Bye.